Is it definitely recording? You got the record on there?
Mm-hmm.
You sure? Oh my goodness. Okay. Going. Oh my goodness. How's it going? I'm Tim, and I just wanted to share with you, in case you were curious, why I started urbangardenguide.com. So I've spent my whole life gardening. When I was a little kid, since before I could remember, my earliest memories are in gardens. Just sitting in the neighbors, picking raspberries, stuffing my face. When I was like 7 years old, I actually had a vegetable garden that I would just grow so much produce that I would go around the whole neighborhood with a little red flyer wagon selling vegetables door to door. I absolutely adore it. So I grew up, if you can't tell, I'm like 60 years old, right? But so as I got older, I kind of got further and further away from from gardening. And the older I got, you know, I just felt like there was something that was missing. I was working in corporate America, and so I started working with community gardens, really going back to my roots, going back to some of those experiences I had as a young person gardening. And as soon as I started getting involved in these urban gardens and even in urban farms, I realized that there's this huge disconnect. There's a disconnect about what's possible and who's possible. Who can grow stuff? A lot of people feel like they can't garden. And it's so fascinating because the more and more that I learned about urban gardening, the more that I realized that it's a critical thing. And I know that's a crazy thing to throw out there, but it actually is one of the best things that an individual can do for the environment. And with climate change, it's really hard to wrap your head around tangible things that an individual can do to help the environment these days. And guess what? Urban gardening, even if you're not in a city, gardening is one of the best things you can do. So that was one major reason to start this. I just needed a place where I could give people this information. People kept coming up to me and they say, "Hey Tim, you know, you're growing that beautiful garden on your roof. Can I do that? How do I do that? Could you come over? Could you give me some information?" I'm making all of these photocopies, I'm running around to different places, and it just got to the point where I said, all right, we just gotta put all this stuff online. I got in touch with some of my friends, some people in the industry, and said, all right, let's start putting it up there. And so that's kind of the birth story of urbangardenguide.com. We got a lot of folks who know a lot about urban gardening. I did a program at the Brooklyn Botanical Garden called the Brooklyn Urban Gardener Program, where it gave me all sorts of training for this stuff. I met a lot of experts so that I've got a Rolodex full of folks I can just call up and be like, hey, you know, what do? I got a feral cat in my garden, and I can talk to someone who really is an expert with that. And you know, I used to be in journalism. I used to work for National Public Radio, and from there I really learned the importance of getting the best information. You know, you gotta check something twice. You really gotta know that this is what the reality is. And one reality is that you can have an awesome urban garden. Another reality is we've been painstaking in the information we put up here. Yeah, there are probably some mistakes. We're trying to get it all up as quickly as we can so that you can really get up and running. You can get growing. But like a garden, Urban Garden Guide is also growing. We're really pumped up, more and more people checking out the site. We're really excited to get more content coming. We really hope that you'll help us out. If you see something, you know, needs a little improvement, you've got a great tip about how to deal with tomato hornworms or something like that, we want to hear it, because that's what this is all about. This is what we can do now. We have the resources to really help our cities bloom, to help our cities grow. So yeah, I'm talking way too much, but just check out the site. I really hope you enjoy it, and yeah, let's get growing.